Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, earlier this week, a British container ship was sunk by an Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in the Gulf of Aden. This attack is yet another example of how, under President Biden's weak and ineffective leadership, our adversaries have been emboldened and our allies have been left vulnerable. Last year, President Biden agreed to release more than $6 billion to Iran, effectively providing more funds and resources to the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism. This is unacceptable, and it shows that yet again President Biden is unwilling and unable to provide the leadership that Americans want and that Americans need. When U.S. ships were threatened with sustained rocket attacks, the Biden administration waited weeks to respond, only further emboldening these terrorist groups to continue their aggression. It's time to return to leadership that embodies President Ronald Reagan's call of peace through strength. The American people simply cannot afford a president that fails to keep America safe. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, in his State of the Union speech tomorrow night, President Biden will be forced to confront the growing threat posed by an open and porous southern border. In the month of January, more than 176,000 illegal immigrants attempted to enter the United States. That was on the heels of the month of December, when more than 300,000 illegal immigrants again crossed the southern border. Because of the open border policies championed by President Biden and enacted by Secretary Mayorkas, these illegal immigrants were bused to our major cities. The consequences of this decision have been felt in nearly every community in the United States. Schools have been converted into shelters for illegal immigrants. In places like New York City and Denver, government services have been scaled back, and city employees, like librarians, have seen their hours cut in order to provide handouts to people who are in the United States illegally. And at a time when more than 300 suspected terrorists have attempted to enter the U.S., President Biden has thrown open our gates and encouraged this crisis to continue. Ending catch and release, giving our Border Patrol agents the tools and resources that they need, and resuming construction of the border wall are vital to keeping our nation safe. It is time for President Biden to reverse his disastrous border policies and put a stop to this crisis. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield.